All right. So good afternoon, Jill. Thanks for joining us. So for everyone that's tuning in at a later date, we have Jill Thomas here with us. She is a talent acquisition manager with Enterprise Holdings. So we appreciate her taking the time to hop on Zoom, answer some questions for us, and share a little bit about what it's like to work at Enterprise. So nice to have you here, Jill.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's great to see you all. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So Jill, I have some questions prepared, so we'll just kind of walk through, and then if you can think of anything else that I might have missed, or if we have anyone else that wants to jump in and ask a question, they can do so. So do you want to just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role with Enterprise?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, like Kelsey said, my name is Jill Thomas. I'm a talent acquisition manager with Enterprise. Basically that I'm a recruiter. So I recruit for all of Western PA, State College West. I have been with Enterprise Rent-A-Car for about 12 years. I started as a management trainee, which is which we hire for. It's an entry-level position. I started as a management trainee and worked my way up. And that's the whole point of our program. It's a promote from within culture where we bring you in on ground level, teach you. So I was in rental for 5 years, was promoted 6 times in my first 5 years with Enterprise, moved up into management, was an assistant manager at 3 offices, branch manager at 2, had a company car. After 5 years, I transitioned into recruiting, where I now recruit for our internship program and our full-time management training program. I've been in recruiting for about 7 years now, been promoted there as well and just continue to advance. So obviously with Enterprise, I found a long-term career path, but with a ton of opportunity. And obviously that's what I like to tell people now and bring people on board so they can have that same success.
Awesome. So what do you find that employees and interns like best, and what do you like best, I guess, about working for Enterprise?
So it's a great question. Obviously, with Enterprise, it is our motto. It's a fun, friendly environment. But that's the thing is we are very like-minded individuals, right? It's very customer service facing. So, we are outgoing individuals, but we are all very driven and goal-oriented. And that's the great thing about the company is there are so many opportunities for advancement. And I think when people come in, they realize our role is to train and develop you and then for you to grow. And there's so many opportunities. The doors are very much open, but you work with individuals that have been in your shoes. And I think that's one thing that people appreciate the most is they're learning from someone that has been where they are. They've had the same thoughts, the same frustrations, challenges. They learn from them, but also on the flip side, they can look at them, days that they're frustrated and think, oh, I don't know about this. They can then kind of think, okay, they've done it. They've been here. I've been through this. They see the success and there is a very clear path. So they know what the opportunities are and they know the next steps. And it's also quick. And I think, all over, we like to have fun. We joke around in the offices. You work with, fun people and that just helps in the long run, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. What do you think compared to other companies makes Enterprise unique?
So first of all, I'll answer that. We are a privately owned and operated company. So being the size that we are and being privately owned and actually family owned and operated is unheard of. It's a huge accomplishment and we recognize that. But with that being said, there's a lot that goes into that, right? So you're not working for a company where the CEO changes every year, 2 year, and our shift changes. So we're very conservative in the sense that the business is very grounded. We're very stable. But at the same time, we have a course, right? So we're national, international. There's a lot of opportunities. There's growth. And those are things that our employees care about. So you're working for somebody, yes, we're a family, but so there's that balance, right? We're this large corporation, but this family-owned feel. So it's important for us. We have that stability, but we still have that family-owned feel. So we want our employees to feel valued and they're a name, not a number. And that's a huge, in my opinion, again, I've been with the company for 12 years. That's a big thing. And you sense that every day. And, it's important to know who you work for.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're not with a company for 12 years if you don't feel valued. So I think
right. Trust me, I wouldn't be here that long if not, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that speaks to a lot of, yeah. So what do you think is something that most people don't know or would be surprised to learn about Enterprise? Because I think even just hearing Enterprise, most people are familiar, at least somewhat, with the company. So what would surprise them?
Yeah, and I will say, and that also honestly is the biggest thing that people don't recognize. And when I say it, I'm like, oh, I work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Oh, that's the company you'll pick us up, right? And that's the extent, right? That's what people mostly know about us. Our service that we provide is that we're a rental car company. But beyond that, what we provide is more of a professional development program. And that's what people don't realize is the opportunity in the career path. So as I mentioned, we bring everybody in as an entry-level employee. Everybody starts as a management trainee, but the goal is to teach you the fundamentals of the business. So it's not just customer service. There's a sales aspect, you're learning operations, you're learning HR functions, but the long term is we're teaching you how to get to the next level. And there's so many opportunities. So any division that runs the business, that opportunity is there to advance into. We have, direct sales roles that you can move into in our fleet department, which is more account executive, account management roles. We have business to business roles, everything from car sales, truck, which is more corporate accounts. But then we also have a business management, accounting team, finance roles. We have HR functions, risk, supply chain, right? We have a whole traffic division. We have a large fleet of vehicles that we need to maintain and organize. So those takes very skilled individuals, but that's the thing. Everybody starts as a management trainee, and then there's all of those opportunities that you can advance to. And that's why people have such a long-term career path with us.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really cool to think that Enterprise has that many employees and everyone starts kind of at the same spot.
Yeah.
I think
it's good to know too that you're all in the same place. And we hire entry level. So we take the skills and abilities that you have from school, and we take that and we just adapt up with that and we grow, right? So And that's the cool thing about us too, is we recognize that everybody brings something different to the table, be it your experience in the classroom or in a part-time role. And that's the other thing. We don't hire just business majors, right? We'll hire any major. I changed my major, but I was an ed major. My old manager was a bio major, but that's the thing. If you have that mindset that you want to be entrepreneurial, we take the abilities because everybody brings something different to the tables. Our customers feed off of that. Our employees learn off of that. And there's so many places you can take that.
Yeah. So kind of jumping off of that, we talk to our students a lot about soft skill development. So we'll use the NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers, their competencies. So communication, teamwork, leadership, would you say when you're looking for candidates, are those more than what you're looking for in terms of attributes if major per se isn't really driving who you're hiring? No 100%. Pun intended for the driving.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we love our car jokes. Yeah, but no, absolutely. I would say that that's the biggest thing when I talk to students. I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you have, the experience that you have, right? And the one thing that when I meet students on campus, be it at events, career fairs, or just in passing at networking events, some people come up to me and they say, I don't have a lot of experience. I've never done that. And I always stop them. Don't say that because I bet you do. Right. And I want to get to know you. I want to talk to you because maybe you've been in an organization for all 4 years. Maybe you're in a leadership role now and you've helped, recruit new members to that. And you've grown your organization. Those are skills. How did you do that? You didn't just snap your fingers and get new members, right? You talked to people, you sold your program, you overcame some of the rejections and you got them excited. That's sales, that's customer service. So it's really, I want to talk to individuals and hear what all they've been doing and how they are well-rounded, because those are really important things that we bring to that we want to bring to the table, right?
Yeah, no, that's good. So you look at, I would imagine, at a lot of different resume and cover letters, any given day, week, year, month. What is something that you look for on a candidate's resume or cover letter? And it doesn't have to necessarily be specific to Enterprise, but what's something that you look for in those documents?
Yeah, so obviously I will start by saying resumes are super important, but make sure that you take the time to really put valuable information on that, right? So what I look for, the statistic is true. For the most part, recruiters spend on average about 7 seconds looking at a resume, right? So what you do is when you're looking at it, you want to grab their attention. So honestly, and I've seen a lot of things about coursework or because they're filling their space, and that's fair. But what I would rather see, you have to take classes, and I know that. So I'd rather see the experience. And I think some people have maybe had a part-time job their senior year in high school or do something part-time in the summer, but they don't think it's relevant because it doesn't align with what they think their career path is. I would rather see that. So please make sure you're highlighting all of your experience and don't just put, server at Applebee's, helped customers, whatnot. I'd rather be very specific. Put as much detail and information in your bullets as you can. Maybe you worked on a Friday and a Saturday night and the peak was you waited on average 100 customers an hour or whatnot. I'm making that number up, right? Or, maybe you know the sales number and how much you helped bring in every night. These are all huge things that you want to highlight. So the more detail that you can put in there, maybe you averaged how much tips you bring in every night, right? Or maybe you worked, I don't know, maybe you work in an organization on campus, right? And the biggest thing is, don't just say organization member. I really want you to tell me what you did in that organization, right? So if you were part of recruitment or you were on a chair, really highlight what you did. The more bullets and the more description you can, I'm going to start to read that and I'll be like, oh, I want to know more about that. And I'm going to have that conversation with you.
Okay, that's great. Do you have any tips on what students should do and maybe also what not to do during a job interview?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I would always you want to prepare, right? And we tell everybody that, right? So that it's more than just putting on a suit and showing up to the job interview. I can tell the candidates that come into my office that have spent more time than others. And honestly, it's a number of things. So do your research ahead of time. Go online, read about the company, but really dig deep and find information out about that company. Read maybe their values, what's important to them. So if they're involved in social networking or social responsibility, what organizations are they involved in? Because that's going to bring up something you can talk about in the interview. But also, research the recruiter. It's not creepy. LinkedIn is there for a reason. Connect with that and just say, hey, just wanted to follow up on our interview. I'm excited. But take some time to look at their profile because you can see a lot about them. Like for myself, you will see that I've been with Enterprise for 12 years. I started as an MT and I worked my way up. So it's going to give you a topic of conversation because I think the biggest thing in an interview is, yes, it's an interview for that recruiter to get to know you, but you also want to use it to get to know the company, right? So don't be afraid to ask questions because it's important to know, is this where I want to work? And when you leave that recruiter's office, you should have used that time and have a better understanding of the company and their values and how they treat their employees. So really make sure that you are asking questions at the end of that interview. Use that time. Hey, how long have you worked here? Tell me your story. Why do you like the company? And if they're giving you a very brief scripted answer, okay. But if they're very passionate and they're giving you all this information, why they love the company and how they're involved with different things, you're going to tell like, okay, they really like it here. I want to work here too, right? So really make sure you use that time to get as much information as you can so you know if it's the right place for you.
That's good. Yeah. We always try to tell students interviewing's two-way, although it doesn't always feel like that. So I think that speaks to that same point, asking questions to see if it's a good fit for you as well. Jill, do you want to talk about any opportunities that are available for alumni, soon-to-be alumni, or current students with Enterprise?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, as I mentioned, we offer an internship. We offer a full-time program. So, given our current environment, things are a little crazy out there right now, but I promise you, we are hiring for the future. That is for sure. We have our full-time management training program that we hire for post-grad. You can apply for those roles. They're on our website at careers.enterprise.com. We have an internship for the summer. So for this summer, it's pretty much filled. But for juniors, freshmen, we usually start that interview process for rising juniors. So we open that to juniors going into their senior year that summer. I usually open that in the fall of your junior year. So basically, next November, that job will be open for this year's sophomores. So anyone graduating in 2020. And we always say that's open to anybody within 1 or 2 years of graduation. So if you're either a December grad or a May grad, we would offer that internship for you for the summer. But it's that full-time management training program. We bring you in, we teach you a quick track to advancement. The internship mirrors that program. And the great thing about our internship is it's paid, number one. But two, you're actually getting the experience. We use it as a jump start into your career. So we bring you in early. To that point earlier, it's an interview not just for us, but for you. You do the job, you get to be about part of the team. And at the end of the summer, we sit down and we can make you a contingent offer. So already have that offer on the table post, before graduation, so it takes that stress off at the end of the year.
Great. And Jill's on campus for anyone watching pretty frequently here at IUP, so definitely keep a lookout for her with our career fairs and our Career Ready seminar series. So she's always available and willing to talk to students. But Jill, I guess
I need a cot for the office.
Yeah. Jill, I guess one of the last questions we want to ask is, what is one thing you would want to leave people with? It could be a piece of career advice, something about Enterprise, something you wish you would have known, that are listening to this session here on today.
Yeah, so I'll give two advice. Obviously, today, right, we're in the middle of, a new environment, right? I feel students might have found a lot of time on their hands. Please utilize this downtime, right? As I mentioned, don't take the time, connect with recruiters. If you've been busy on campus and went to like career fairs and networking events, but you didn't have the time yet to, do the research or follow up with those recruiters, use this time to do so. So connect with people on LinkedIn, do some research about companies, but you should do this no matter what, right? So continue to make sure you're going to these types of events, you're utilizing your resources. I mean, I know IUP has a ton of opportunities that they offer through the Career Development Center, right? So it's kind of like one of those things that your parents used to say, don't do as I do as I say, right? Because I get it. When I was in college, I might not have used those as much as I should have, but there's so much great information and resources out there. Utilize it, right? Put in the work, meet people, because you never know who you're going to meet. And even if, maybe you connect with me, maybe you don't end up working for Enterprise, or maybe it's not the role for you. That's fair. But I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. I know a lot of other recruiters that I share their content and I'm very close with them. So maybe I'll talk to you and yes, our role's not for you, but I know a recruiter that actually might be perfect, and I can connect you with them. So there's so many options and resources out there. But if you don't put the work in and you don't start that, utilize what's there. That's my biggest.
That's great. Do we have any questions from anyone joining us? All right. Well, thank you, Jill. We really appreciate you taking the time to hop on this call. Hopefully students will take a lot from this. I think you shared some really good pieces of advice, not only specific to Enterprise, but general career advice. So we really appreciate getting to see you here this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, everybody. I wish you well and stay safe and healthy right now. Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jill.